Hi everyone, Paula here, sat in the UAE talking to my good colleague and friend in Tel Aviv, Linda. Hi Linda, how you doing?
Hello, Paula. I'm great. I'm great. It's beautiful and sunny. How are you?
Oh good, enjoying the sun here as well. Winter is so beautiful here, absolutely beautiful. Um, yeah, so we're going back to talking a bit more about what we do, what we've got. We've spoken about some demographic stuff. I just wanted to explain how a good start to doing business here might look like.
Hmm.
Um, One of the things that keeps coming up, and I know we've shared the opposing words earlier on, is this region is definitely a who knows who situation. Yeah. Most things you need doing, if you get stuck, you go and speak to somebody you know. So it translates into a really tight networking place. And years I've worked and lived all over the world. When I came here, I was shocked at how much people use LinkedIn here. People use LinkedIn. I've got direct business many times just from my LinkedIn.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
built up your network of LinkedIn people here before you guys are coming over, and vice versa. I'm starting to see, people requesting to link up from Israel because we're doing this, and I'm talking to you. Like anybody says Israel, I'm going, yeah, connect. So I think that it is definitely a good idea to look at your LinkedIn and start making contacts. People will connect to you quite easily here.
Yeah,
I've
since
got
I have to say, since we've started doing these videos, I have several people from the United Arab Emirates who've gotten in contact with me. And I was so
it's a
excited. I never had any contacts from there before.
it's a really well used, my contacts shot up to nearly 15,000 contacts when I came here, but not just to connect. They actually talk to you, send business, put bids and tenders on. So it's really worth focusing on building our LinkedIn contacts up. And of course, the Worcester thing is for another day. And we thought just a couple of tips each about doing business for real. So we've spoken a lot about culture, and we started to grow on the different demographics and the different kind of spread of people in both our
Hmm.
countries.
Hmm.
But I've got a couple of tips that have always stuck in my mind. So when you're doing business here in the UAE, you think Dubai, glitz, glamour, money, Arab oil. No, no, no. If you're putting a business deal together, do not hike your prices. Do not up your prices. Do not add on because they really don't like it. They're actually very cost conscious on the whole here. Um, and if you do that, you won't get direct feedback or enter a negotiation. They just won't talk to you anymore. So it's a very interesting concept, coming from the UK or Australia. We would put 10% on because they're going to knock me down. Don't do it here. Tell people this is my honest and true price. Yeah, you'll get more conversation out of people. Another quick one, and we've spoken about it before, about being smart and modest and professional goes such a long way here. Be have a suit, wear a tie, put your business jacket on. It goes a long, long way because of the mix of people. You don't really know what you're walking into. Yeah, I've walked into meetings thinking we're going for, a cup of chai down the local hawker centre when I've been faced with the biggest board table I've ever seen and 6 officials. So you never quite know what you're going to walk into here.
Hmm.
So be smart, be professional, be knowledgeable, be prepared. And I think Tally, one of our beautiful guests, who we must get back soon, she
Definitely.
said this.
Definitely.
Yeah, ready, and show people that you've really put some effort in and that you know what you're talking about. That goes a long, long way. Whilst the business cycle might be slightly longer, goes a long way. And one last thing, if you're offered tea or coffee or Arabic beverages, do not refuse. Don't have to drink it. You can pretend to drinking it. Don't refuse. So yeah, there's just a couple of tips there, and I don't know how that
Gotcha.
transpires back the other way because we have agreed, and offline we keep saying it. You know, it's a halfway house here, isn't it? you know, us, we've got to make half the effort to meet how Israelis will work and vice versa. So what are your kind of tips, and how do you see that over in Israel?
Exactly. Okay. First of all, I think it's very important what you said, and Israelis are trying more and more to do the research about different groups, different countries, different cultures where they're going, because we are just doing business with the world. And especially with the United Arab Emirates, I think it's important to realize that you said we are a region of connections. And that's exactly what it is. In Israel, we actually call it vitamin P, which stands for protectia, knowing different people. The way to get into business is I went to school with so and so from your company, or I was just talking to Jonathan from your company and he said I should call you. That's an immediate in. If you know somebody, that gives you the in. So while it's very important for us to build relationships, the funny thing is we're still pretty direct. And we do that kind of quickly, like we become your very good friend very quickly. Israelis are warm, hospitable, open. And so they expect to be able to also go straight to business. And what you were saying also about the pricing is important, because Israelis come very much from that shuk market mentality of bargaining. Whatever it is, I'll bargain. I remember going to the States with a friend who went into a department store in New York and tried to bargain on the prices. You don't do that there, right? In Israel, we bargain on everything. So Israelis come into every deal thinking, we're going to bargain, and I'm trying to get the best deal, because Israelis want to get the best deal they can. Because I think I've mentioned this before, nobody wants to be a sucker, what we call a friar here. And I think soon we're going to do a whole lexicon of Israeli and the United Arab Emirates terms, so that people will know that. So people want to get a good deal to show that they're not that friar, the sucker. So, he came in with that price, but I gave him that price and I got this great price. Israelis are well known for that. Look at the amazing price I got for this. And that is important. So it's important for us to know, realize the other side, that they will feel like you're giving them too high a price, and, try to be a little more reasonable and really know the market. The other thing about the professionalism, Israelis are professional. They are smart. They do their research. They know their business. At the same time, they're rather informal. So they won't come with the suit, because who wears a suit? We don't wear suits. It's hot here. But I remember going to the American Embassy July 4th parties. July in Israel, I'm sure you understand this, is incredibly hot. So all of the Americans are running around sweating in their suits outside, and the Israelis are in short sleeve shirts with their pants, maybe short pants. But I think that's something that's important for Israelis to know, is that, yes, I always tell people, dress a little higher, a little more formally than you might think. You can always take off the jacket, and you'll never be too formal, right? If the worst case scenario, you're formal enough, you're appropriate for the situation, and you can take off the jacket, just leave the tie and shirt. So yeah, it comes down to professional yet informal at the same time. Warm,
And I think,
hospitable.
Jonathan, sorry to interrupt you, but I don't want to. But don't forget, here, you're never going to be hot, because you're never going to be outside, because we don't walk out hot, because you can't, because it's 55 degrees. You'll die.
It's so hot you can't be outside. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So you're always in
Correct.
AC. See people going to work with jackets and cardigans and jumpers. You're like, what? Because the AC's on all day. So yeah, just fascinating, that little scenario there. But yeah, so and what's this about? What's the word that people call Israelis from
the sabra, which is the cactus fruit. Why are we called the sabra? A sabra is the Israeli who was born here, the native Israeli. And why are we called sabra? Because on the outside, we're very prickly, but on the inside, soft and sweet. And that, I think, is the essence of the Israeli.
Oh, and very nice. And a really, really good analogy. Appear prickly on the outside, soft and loving and juicy on the inside.
Exactly,
So,
the prickly pear.
they need to remember that, yeah, because you are soft and squishy on the inside, but the first impression will be different. And we do have to meet halfway, right?
Yes.
Both of us.
Yes. 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 Excellent.
Linda, interesting. And yeah, so have a great day, stay safe, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you. You too. Goodbye, everybody. See you next
Bye.
time.